All right, everybody. Special live edition of the live stream. Special early edition of the live stream. Let me fire an invite off to Bob. Now, Bobby's probably not going to be coming until a little later, but we'll fire it off to him, and whenever he gets here, he gets here. Hold on. Fire off that email. Oops. 1 second. Sorry. Copy, paste, and Bobby, and then link. Okay, let me just text him as well. Hold on. Just one other thing. Okay. All right, let's see who's around here. First of all, hey, what's going on? Oh, all right. Well, that is actually very interesting. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let me. How do I? I'm going to do this. Let me see. Let me just see something. Someone just said that the YouTube channel is set for made for kids, so people don't get notifications when we go live. I'm gonna forward this over to both of them. Thank you very much, John, for the heads up. I'm sure we can fix that right away. I don't know, man. I'm gonna. This is my brag, dude. I chopped the monster on FanDuel yesterday, and I got second in the big one on DraftKings yesterday as well. So I have no problem with these contests. These are fine by me. You know what this reminds me of? WW Fresh. It's really funny. I don't know if you're a poker player or if anybody in here is a poker player, but this was kind of one of my pet peeves, or one of my kind of my observations is in poker. There's like a lot of different types of structures. There's fast structures. There's slow structures. A lot of chips to start, small amount of chips to start, and I've always found that when anybody wins a big tournament and they interview them, they say, well, this structure was just perfect for me because, and it's my big joke is that everybody pretends that the structure that had them win was their best structure. Because it seems that way. I mean, they won, so that had to be their best structure. And so likewise, hey, dude, yeah, listen, you keep this contest just the way they are, and I'll be just fine. And like I said, you know, if they seem kind of weak, such that the experts or the better experts or the more prolific experts don't want to play, sounds good to me. I mean, all good. So we got all kinds of stuff. This weekend is totally Degen Saturday, by the way. There's going to be soccer. There's going to be baseball. There's going to be MMA. There's going to be tennis. There's going to be, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. There's going to be, I think, a break from the League of Legends. There's been a League of Legends going on all week. And I actually have kind of a mini sweat here in a League of Legends tournament, but it's going to take forever. It's like game 1 of a 1 to 5. Until your face, till you fix your face, stop bragging. Plastic surgery is available. All right. We're going to block him. We're going to block him on YouTube. We're going to block him into Restream chat. And there you go, James. All right. Very nice. So yeah, so yesterday was obviously a really, really good day for me, and we're going to continue on, hopefully, with some more successes today. Oh yeah, absolutely. There's some talk of implement. Yeah, you know, the thing is that it's just, I mean, it's honestly too hard right now for me. All I was able to do, Project Mayhem, so this is kind of interesting. I mean, I'll put this on if you want, and you know what? Maybe it'll give me something to do. Not that I need something to do, but this is what I have created. I don't have it for it's certainly not for multiple lineups, but it was kind of fun for me to kind of build. Like so this is I built one for a 6-person type of thing where you could put salaries, fantasy points here, and then you could select whether you want to lock a guy in or X him out, and then you could put salary, and then it'll do an opto for you, right? But it's only one lineup, and yeah, this was a lot of. I mean, this was a lot of work just to even make this for one thing. And unfortunately, I could use this if I want for stuff like golf and NASCAR because they're actually six spots. And I have seen some YouTube videos about how to build your own optimizer for other sports. And I've just found it's a better use of my time to do other stuff and use the optimizers that are available out there. What I have been interested, and to be honest, I mean, as much work as I would, as much work as whatchamacallit, what was I going to say? As much work as it took me to like do this, I still would never be able to approximate like a good enough optimizer to replace any of the ones that I have. So what I am continuing to work on, hopefully, is to actually implement, for example, the SaberSim optimizer on our site, so that we can use that straight from our site. It just takes, you know, if it was just up to me, I would just do it. You know, I just have to talk to them, and then it's a whole thing. It's just harder than it thinks. It's just harder than you think, just to say, oh, just put the SaberSim optimizer on there, or, you know, whatever. It's just, without getting too into it, it's just harder than people think to get that whole thing set up. So not gonna lie to you, I mean, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Except, I mean, again, I could screw around with this type of thing, but at the very, very best, it'll end up with like a one lineup optimizer, which is better than nothing, I guess. But yeah. Okay. So let me just. I'm continuing to check on my League of Legends sweat here. So I have this thing going on, which is freaking craziness. But let's go through the. Does anybody want me to brag? I don't want to do this. I don't want to. You know what? Okay, this is why I don't want to go over my lineup. Okay, I mean, I put it in the Discord, whatever it is, and this is the thing that I really one of the things I hate is I honestly, my process in building lineup was I did a lot of work on my projections, a lot of work on that. I ran it through SaberSim, and then I just adjusted some exposures like really, really, really subtly. And then I just kind of like let the lineups roll. You know, I didn't. So if I were to go and say, well, this is why I did this is why I did that, it would be disingenuous to say, well, now looking back, this is exactly why I did this. And boy, how smart am I? You know, it really wasn't like that. I mean, I did the work with the projections. I put it in the system. It gave me these lineups. I took honestly the highest projecting lineup of the 20 I played. I put it into the 20 into the biggest buy-in, and that's the one. And it happened to come in first. I mean, that's just really just. I'm gonna be honest. That's really all it is. So I don't want to make too much of the successes from yesterday, except for the fact that really was on top of all of it. Here's an interesting situation. I think that with the playoffs, and this is gonna be kind of cool because we're gonna go through this without Bobby, and Bobby could end up totally disagreeing with me, which is actually pretty useful. I feel as though I don't even feel as though that the DraftKings pricing is going to be like this for the whole playoffs, meaning they're pricing everybody down such that you could play whoever you want. And I think there's a certain degree of wisdom to that. And like, for example, you have Chris Sale at 6,700 on DraftKings. So like in a vacuum, 6,700 on DraftKings is you would just have to lock this in at 100% of your lineups. Thing is, it's their other guys also who are really strong prices. I mean, you could make a very good case for Shane Baz at 6,300. You know, or any of these guys. I mean, Corbin Burns at only 9,100 might be, I mean, just might be the best value of them all. But so it's not as if, you know, you have to play Chris Sale. But on the other hand, Chris Sale at 6,700 is an extremely strong looking proposition. So what I think about today's slate, if I run this through the optimizer, which I've done, I mean, it's just going to give you 100% Burns and Sale. I think. I mean, when I did it, that's what it got for me because, I mean, Burns is as the best combination of value and raw points, and Chris Sale was just way too cheap. And even if you run Sims, you're going to get Sims that put out some of these good Chris Sale performances, whether it be from this year or the last 2 years, and it's just going to show up. Oh, shoot. I blocked Project Mayhem by mistake. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. How do I do this? Oh, no. I blocked somebody else, but I blocked. Oh, how do I unblock? This stinks. Oh, man. I'm so sorry. How do I... Any chance you could log in here as a different user, Project Mayhem? I feel like, you know what? You blame that other guy. I was trying to block the other guy, and I think I clicked on Project Mayhem by mistake. Oh, that stinks. Because right now it says block user on YouTube. Then it says add the block list. I don't want to block him on YouTube. I think maybe he's okay. No, because it says here Project Mayhem was blocked. Can I unblock him? How do I unblock him? Oh no, I don't know what I did. I'm so sorry. Project Mayhem, if you could just, until I figure out how to unblock you, if you could create a, shoot, another account maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I guess so. Sorry about that. How do you unblock? I don't know. All right. Sorry. Well, I mean, honestly, I mean, all I do here, I'll give you an example. I'll do today. Right. So let's do today. Let's put this in here. So let's go. Let's say we're doing today's main. Today's main. I'll just go ahead and do this. So what I'll do, I put my projections in, I put my ownerships in. I'm not going to make any changes to the projections or the ownerships. Now, again, I don't even know who's actually playing yet, so this is going to be whatever. But so first of all, with SaberSim, it comes with certain sliders. So what I like to do, I do mess with this a little bit, depending on the amount of lineup, what type of tournament it is. Like sometimes I really want to get more randomness. I'll jack this up a little bit. You know, you get a smart diversity very high. you'll probably end up getting more Chris Sale if you do this because you're going to get some of his, better performances, and you won't get the median. And this is a little bit of an art, if you want to go, you could play a little less correlation because it's a 2 game, it's a 4 game slate than normal. But I think somewhere in here I will do it. And then we'll do, okay, so let's say I run 20 lineups like this. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's going to get me 100% Sale and 100% Burns, but let's just take a look. And here's the thing about when to know when to tweak and when to not. Remember, these are based on simulation, so it's picking certain games, and you don't know which ones, right? Out of a whole sampling of games to come up with the presumed result for this particular lineup. So let me just confirm what I was theorizing. Yeah, 100% Sale and 100% Burns. And the reason why I think you're getting 100% Sale and 100% Burns is because, again, it's picking up all of those, those good Sale performances. To make sense, right? So, what I like to do, what I like to do. So on this particular slate, I just feel as though some of these other pitchers have similarly good performances in them. And I also feel as though that a lot of the performances they're picking up from Sale are against weak opponents. You know what I mean? Because I think since he's come back, he's faced Baltimore 3 times. You know what I mean? He hasn't really had a tough matchup yet. So they're picking some of these performances, and I don't think that they're necessarily representative of what he's going to do today. And I have nothing quantifiable to back that up. But that's just, you're asking me some of the tweaks that I make. These are kind of the tweaks I make. And in WW Fresh, that's just perfect. You know what I mean? Something like that makes a lot of sense to me. Oh, there's Bobby. Hey, Bobby, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Sorry about that.
Let me just finish my thought here. So even though WW Fresh, WW Fresh, it seems like just kind of a weird take. Oh, Sale just hasn't been good. I'll pass on him. But what you're saying is very similar to what I'm trying to illustrate here. Is that if I run this stuff, it's going to give me 100% Sale because it's going to presume that at least one of these performances that's in his history is just going to show up today. But I was saying that a lot of the even the results from this year, he's faced Baltimore like half the time he's pitched this year. So for me, I'm trying to answer, by the way, John Jenkins' question, how I'm tweaking the exposures here. I just literally just don't want 100% Sale. So, especially when you have other guys that are totally viable, like Buehler and Giolito, whatever. So I will literally, on a situation like this, let's just say I put like max exposure. Let's say I'll put like 35%. Then all these other guys will show up, like Buehler and Raz and Valdez or whatever it is. So in a situation like today, where I particularly don't like the way a simulator would give Sale so much credit, you know what I mean? I'll just manually tweak it like that, and I'll go with those types of lineups. So that's kind of where I'm at. The other thing, just to catch you up, Bobby, I made a deliberate point to not go over my lineups from yesterday, just because, again, I'll just I tell people how I do it. I didn't intentionally pick that the happened to be my highest projected lineup is what I put in the big one, and they both happen to win. You know what I mean? Like I played 20 lineups total, and I really didn't even think of which one I would prefer in the big one, whatever. And if I picked basically any of, maybe 10 of the other lineups wouldn't have even cashed. But overall, it was pretty well across the board. So I didn't go over yesterday, but obviously good result, and we're moving on to today. What do you think about the pitching for today?
I'm going back and forth with what I want to do. I don't mind eating chalk on playoff slates, but like you said, there's a lot of different options here. So currently I have Sale. Actually, I have Sale, Burns as my top 2 at the moment. Yeah. I understand everything you just said, but I definitely that's still where I might be leaning. I'm not playing a ton of lineups.
Okay.
But I do think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm getting a lot of questions here about optimizers and stuff like that. Did you talk about this stuff?
I did.
Okay.
And I'll just catch you up. What I said was, the closest thing I'm going to be able to physically do myself is put like that 6-person optimizer up there, but I'm never going to be able to reproduce one myself, I said the closest thing that I can continue to work on is maybe get SaberSim to put it on our site, for example. But that's just it's a long discussion, and it's just not as easy as you would think. So we're continuing to work on it. But I want to manage expectations here. I don't expect something like that in the immediate future. But we will continue to work on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
All right. But yeah, so in terms of the other pitching, to get into that stuff, I think there's some argument to be made for these much. Where are you getting projections? I just don't feel like my projections are even close. So I'm having a hard time because I'm looking at Sale as being lower owned.
Yeah, I have Sale at 18%.
Oh, well, then I think Sale's he's a really good play. I don't care if he's been bad. That's just that's what I've got him. I got him about 15. I think Sale, Baz have like extremely high upsides, and these guys aren't, not everybody's necessarily going to go out there and throw a million pitches. I think Corbin Burns has probably the highest upside on the slate. I don't think anyone will play Logan Webb, and I like the Dodgers, obviously. But I do think that Logan Webb is a really good pitcher. I just don't think I don't think I would go there. I wouldn't go to Framber probably. I actually like the White Sox. But I think if we're going to get Sale at low ownership, this is a time we should probably take a shot and almost just ignore how he's been personally. I mean, the guy has the same strikeout prop of anybody on the slate except for Corbin Burns. He's the highest strikeout prop. He's the cheapest and he's lower owned. He's second cheapest and he's lower owned. By the way, Shane Baz is right there with him in terms of his K prop. He just has got a lot more of lot more variance, what could happen with him and all that. But I do think he's got enough to get 25. I mean, he can get 25 fantasy points for a team that hasn't, I believe they haven't seen him, right? Did Boston face him yet? No, they haven't. So those are the main guys I'm cycling through. I do like Giolito a little bit, but I get a little nervous about the matchup with Houston for his pitch type exactly. And he's got a lower strikeout prop. He's got a 4.5 K prop compared to these other guys. By the way, bet the over on Buehler's 4.5. That's just always going to be a bad number. And I would bet the over on Giolito too. But I still don't think that I still don't like them as much. I think I'm sticking with Sale, Burns as my favorites, with Buehler and probably Morton would be my next two. But I think Baz, you could make a good argument for the larger field GPPs.
I'll tell you this. This is I want to spin some narratives or whatever it is, and I know it's only a 2-game sample size, and I'm not as into baseball as a lot of people are or whatever. But I will say this, I don't know whether it's because people like just reserve stuff for the playoffs and they're getting all planned or whatever it is. But I don't know, man. When the playoffs come, like those two teams, like yesterday that lost, they were just not even remotely competitive. You know what I mean? Like Houston and Tampa just freaking just came right out from pitching to hitting to. It seemed like the fielders were everywhere they were supposed to be, and everybody just brings their best shit. With whether it be their pitching, their hitting, and you got a guy like Lance Lynn who's really serviceable enough, during the season. Had a good season, but then he was a little weak, and he couldn't find a good spot to put the ball. You know what I mean? And then you had, I don't know, I don't want to make too much of it because I'm sure that it's not going to have like 4 sweeps throughout the freaking playoffs or whatever. But it's you're getting really everybody's best shots here, and that's why for me, I mean, I don't know, man. Playing Sale seems like, I mean, I don't know. It seems wrong to me. I mean, it seems right as far as the numbers, but I kind of would rather just freaking play Buehler, man. I mean, I know his matchup was whatever, but I mean,
that's fine. Yeah, I mean, you're going to take a guy twice the ownership who's probably going to score. Like, I don't think even with Sale recently, like he's outscored Buehler. Like, what I mean? It's not like we talk about how he's been bad, but like the truth is Buehler's been struggling too. He struggled down the stretch a little bit. I hear you. I don't necessarily agree that these teams are. I don't think Houston's even a better team, much less a much better team than Chicago. I mean, they're better maybe, but I don't think they're much better at all.
I do think, by the way, that I think that today, I think it's a really good spot to take a shot with the White Sox.
Yeah, I like the White Sox and I like the Dodgers. Those would be the two teams I would focus on the most. I also think that that taking the other side against Sale makes plenty of sense to me as well. I'm just surprised that people aren't playing him. To be honest with you, I hear you. What you're saying. I mean, if Bueller had 2 great starts to end the season. Before that, he had gone -2, 12.7, 21, 8.1, 18 point. He hadn't put 20. He only put up 20 once, and it was 21. I don't know. Like I don't know. I feel like you're getting a discount with Sale, which is one thing. You're getting a guy who's probably got on paper has a better matchup for strikeouts. He's had plenty of rest. Anyway, I sort of am liking the Sale thing at lower ownership. If you told me he was going to be 60% on the highest pitcher on the slate, I'd have a very different take on this. But I am personally very happy to go ahead and play him at lower ownership. Even though I know it looks like this, and they've got all these guys and all this. He's also pitching at the second best pitcher's park on the slate behind San Francisco. And there's strikeouts in that lineup.
Yeah, as I was mentioning, when I first did my runs, I mean, I literally I had to force this out. I had 100% Burns and Sale. So I mean, I just for diversification purpose didn't want 100% Sale. So that's why I kind of spread it around a little bit. And I was just about to get to where my ownerships were. And then you can tell me where you are. But how many lines did you play, by the way, in the main slate?
Like 1. I'm not playing much today.
Oh, you literally just playing 1. Okay.
No, I mean I'm playing 1 main lineup. I've got like 10 maybe lineups, but
okay.
You know, I mean I barely made it in for the good tournament. I wanted the 444, and I didn't make it in on FanDuel at all. We had a Dave Chappelle show last night with my cousins last night, so it was like
you want mine?
What?
You want mine?
Your what? Your lineup?
My FanDuel lineup, if you want.
No, that's okay.
We can talk about that offline.
I know, seriously, get ourselves in trouble.
Wait, but you know what I didn't talk about, by the way? I talked about it a little bit. Remember, today is kind of like the NBA playoffs, that structure where you have these island games. So you remember you don't have lineups in some of these. So like Devers, for example, is I don't know if he's playing. There's stuff you have to be on top of throughout the day. With respect to your lineups and things like that. But like right now, this is what I'm doing. I'm playing 20 lineups in the lottery and 3 bigger ones. I do have Burns and Sale in all 3 big ones. That's what I have. And as far as the hitting goes, majority of my hitting looks to be the mix between the White Sox and the Astros. Well, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, that's true. And I have some Dodgers and a little bit of Red Sox. I guess where I'm light is the Braves. I guess I have a little bit of everybody, if you want to know the truth. But that's where a majority. I have just like 60% Abreu, for example. I got a whole bunch of that. And one of it's my biggest one. I have to have a little bit of San Francisco, but they're not my priority.
Yeah, I'll play Buster Posey as a one-off.
Okay.
I don't really have a lot of love for. I mean, it's always gonna be tough. Nothing stands out, and people go the obvious. I don't think that I'm not gonna go crazy. What my main thing is gonna be like a 4-2-2 or 4-3-1, but I'm really leaning Dodgers, White Sox as the main things, especially the Dodgers. Oddly enough, I do think it's, people should look at run totals for this. And obviously Tampa Bay, Chicago, and Houston have the highest run totals. I think Houston would be where I would go next. Even though obviously I like Giolito in general. You can get low ownership probably on guys like Correa. You'll probably get low ownership on Gurriel, assuming that, I guess McCormick is in the lineup today. And then the other guys will all be sort of on the lower, somewhat owned side. Kyle Tucker will be low owned. I do think people are going to play some of these White Sox, and I do think I just would leave Grandal. I'm leaving Grandal out of any of my any of those 10 lineups that I'm playing, or certainly my big one. And the Dodgers, I think that you want to try and I'm going to play Bellinger. I think he finally looks more like himself at the plate.
Yep.
And he actually stole 2 bases the other night, the game we were at in the closeout game. And I think that, that if you add that upside in at 3,200, I think he's an awesome play. And I'm not sure he'll be in the lineup. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll be in the lineup after what's happening, but I think that's what I would be looking to do.
I have another comment, by the way, about yesterday. Randy effing Arozarena.
Oh, I didn't see the stealing of home. I heard about it. What happened?
Dude, he stole home and he had like 100 home runs too. I mean, like, it's freaking crazy.
Yeah, it's his time of year, man.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Anyway, but yeah, so I really like this. I really do think that, again, if you're playing the Dodgers, make sure to include the lower owned possible parts like Bellinger. I do think will be lower, the lower owned part. Just keep that stuff in mind and try and keep your stacks like that. Or play Pollock. The problem with Pollock is you're always going to lose one at bat. BD is a little bit less appealing, even though I know he's cheap. I don't think you really need it. And I'm struggling. Like, if I had to pick one shortstop, I'm struggling with Seager versus Tim Anderson today. And I like both of them, but I think they're both, I think Tim Anderson is slightly my preference, which is really weird to say. I also think by the way, I think there's a really good chance Matt Beaty doesn't start today for the Dodgers. I think Chris Taylor, why wouldn't they start Chris Taylor? Like, he just hits the walk-off home run the other day.
Yeah.
This time of year, he was awesome he's been awesome in the postseasons for us. So I'm sort of playing under the assumption that he's going to play. So I'm probably going to have to edit some lineups later today if he's not. But that's what assumption I'm going under.
Yeah.
I really don't know why they wouldn't, actually, because it's not like these other guys can't play first base. I guess you could argue that maybe these other guys aren't natural first base, but they don't want to put Cody at first because he's a great outfielder. So that's sort of the issue. By the way, how are your golf lineups looking?
Well, I had 89% Joaquin Niemann. Any other questions?
He's like 600 today, 500 today, isn't he?
Are you serious? I didn't even check.
He was 3 under through 3. I don't know where he's at now, but
I did not even check. I totally gave up.
He's at -4 right now, 5 under for the day. So I
totally given up on all my lineups. Okay.
Yeah. Matt Wolff is just absolutely destroying the field today.
Good for you. Have him, right?
Yeah, he's up in first place at 12 under. That's
nice.
I need this Taylor. I rode with Taylor Moore once again in one of my big ones in a really good lineup I've got. And he's back to he's not. He's 3. He got to 7 under yesterday, and now he's at 3 under. So he's really had a bad run of holes. But
what are they going to need for the cut line?
Probably 5 or 6. Probably 5.
Okay.
It's looking like 5. But yeah, that club twirl thing, I'm in the top 30 right now, and I've got a
no shit,
single entry. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
All my guys left to play, so that's with and Webb Simpson, who made a comeback today as well. So we'll see.
You know what? I haven't even. I literally gave up when I saw Neiman after yesterday.
Oh man, that's so funny. He's right in there. So we're live.
Yeah.
Are we doing that? Are we getting?
And I'll tell you this: that the back 9. I don't know where you started on 1 or 10, but those last five holes are very gettable. So he can. I have a feeling he must have started on 10 if he's -5 through 9 holes.
Yeah, these RPS trolls are absolutely getting to me now, and it's starting to be really not fun.
I blocked 2 guys. I blocked 2 guys already, by the way.
Yeah, but unfortunately, one of them is a guy who actually had been like. I just wish we could have I wish. Look, the optimizer thing is these things are all compatible with optimizers. I understand it's about paying multiple subscriptions, so I get that idea. We are trying to work out some deals with 2 major ones to get them on there. It's just not quite as easy as that. And sorry if you guys feel like there is anything else. If you have any problems, you can go ahead and DM me and I'll help you out.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about this. Is really, maybe you can help me, by the way. Is I went to blocks, what's his name? One of the trolls, and I blocked one of our guys by mistake.
Oh no!
I blocked Project Mayhem by mistake, and I don't know how to unblock him. I feel terrible. I don't know. Maybe he can have a new account or something. I have no idea.
How do you? Let me see if I can Let's see if I can do it. Unhide. Let's see. I'll just try
to do it.
Yeah. So sorry about that. Did you tell him that before?
I did. I apologized for half an hour.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. That's too bad. Yeah, he's a good guy.
And you got my note about that John Jenkins said about the YouTube thing.
I did. Yeah, I'll double it. We were told to do that by them for some reason. I got a message before, but I will try to clear that up. I don't think.
Yeah, because also if you make it not for kids, if you make it for kids, I don't think they can comment either.
Hmm.
So I think we want to make it not for kids so that both those things that we want happen.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to answer K9 Broncos question. I did
Yeah.
try to unhide Prague. He asked me if I'm stacking for a 4-game slate on FanDuel. I didn't end up getting into all the FanDuel tournaments sucked by the time I got to it this morning. Remember, on the West Coast, it's a little bit tougher, and also things sell out quickly these days. When there's nothing else going on that day. But I would be looking more towards stacking somewhat today. I think that I don't think it's necessarily like you couldn't win without it or something. But I think I would lean on. I mean, in order, Dodgers, White Sox, Tampa Bay, and Houston are the teams I would be looking at, and I mostly would be looking to full stack the Dodgers. It's weird. I like the White Sox, but I'd rather full stack Houston and Tampa Bay than I would full stack the White Sox. I like them more as a mini stack, a secondary stack. So I would be stacking a little bit more today, especially on FanDuel, which I know K9 Bronco plays on. So that is the way that I would approach this slate. Did you, Shitu, who's your main pitcher on FanDuel?
My main pitcher on FanDuel, I will tell you that in a minute. It's kind of sad that I don't know who it is. I have so much stuff going on. Let's see. I presume that it's Burns, but let me just double check.
Yeah.
I pre-put in some football lineups for the weekend already, so it's a little. Yeah, I Burns basically locked in.
Yeah. I think that's probably the way to go. He's gonna get his leash is gonna be longer. Yeah, I think Burns is the highest upside play. I mean, look, it's a tough team with Atlanta. You know what I mean? This is not like it's a walk in the park, but he does have the highest strikeout upside, I think, of anybody on the slate by a pretty wide margin. Yeah, I'm sticking with the Sale thing at the moment. It may not feel great. It might be, maybe even like, I guess if I was able to bet on DraftKings and do the props right, from California, I would probably just bet the under on his strikeout prop while I was playing him this much, because he's in like all of my lineups. But I think if you're getting him at 18%, I think he's still going to be higher. But I just think
he's got to be higher, right?
I think so. The only thing is maybe you could make an argument that Baz is an interesting pivot off of him. Because Baz, I don't think he's going to get any ownership and probably has
Yeah, but Baz is going to pitch 4 innings, honestly.
He might pitch 5 and he might strike out 10. He's
good.
These young guys have really, 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 I don't know, high strikeout upside against teams that haven't faced them before.
And if you really get no Devers and no, I don't know who you think JD might start today.
I think I still have him as out, but
I do too. But I mean, I don't know. They haven't said anything.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that would make me think that he's probably not. I mean, I'm looking at my projection, and I'll look at 2 different.
Are you projecting Devers is in? I am right now.
Why wouldn't Devers? What did I miss? Did he get hurt or something?
No, there was a report this morning that he's playing through right forearm discomfort.
Oh yeah, I think he'll play. I actually do think JD. I've got JD as in on both things. I don't know for sure if that's accurate though. I think that is a legitimate question mark.
This is pretty stupid to put out there. So FanDuel puts on their main site, when you click on a player with a note next to him, it says Devers is visibly uncomfortable while whiffing at fastballs Thursday against Tampa Bay, fueling speculation about an injury. The issue seems unlikely to keep him out of the lineup for however long Boston remains in the postseason, but it could certainly hurt his production at the plate. See, I don't think they should be putting that out there.
Yeah.
I don't think their opinion on you know what I mean? Like whether it should hurt his production at the plate.
Yeah, but I kind of get it. I mean, I don't know. I hear what you're saying, but yeah, I don't know. I actually think that I kind of like knowing things like that, but
no, but you could say, I mean, but to speculate, that it could hurt his production at the plate. I mean, that's an opinion,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, let me just.
What do you think of Milwaukee? What do you think of Milwaukee, Atlanta? What about that game? We haven't really talked about that game that much.
Well, Burns talked about a lot, and that's why I think I'm off of Atlanta. But I like Morton.
Right.
a little bit. And I'm okay if you want to get to Milwaukee. I personally am not finding myself getting there very much. I am surprised, even like with this being the postseason and everything, I would have expected to see some 9-run totals and things like that. You've got nobody projected above 4 runs early. That's kind of weird for a 4-game slate, like ever. I don't know if I've ever seen that,
Playoffs.
I know, but even in the playoffs, like, I mean, the Dodgers not having a 4-run total is like, I honestly can't even remember that. Like, never happens. I mean, did we face Scherzer before he was a Dodger earlier this year?
Who's pitching against the Dodgers?
Logan Webb.
Logan Webb?
This is pretty awesome, by the way.
I mean,
but it's kind of crazy. They have the lowest. They're tied for the lowest run total. Oh no, the second lowest run total on the slate behind.
No, I know. I don't.
It's crazy.
I don't know. I almost want to bet that.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable bet. I'm double checking the weather in San Francisco as we speak right now. I think it's going to be cold, but still doesn't mean
get 4 runs out of the Dodgers, huh?
I mean, hey, I'll take my chances with it. 56 degrees, so it is cold there. I don't think there's any reason they couldn't score on him though.
Let's see what the actual line is. Hold on, let's see what this is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm looking at 2 different things that say the same line, but I think
you're right. I'm saying what odds what can I actually get here?
Yeah.
So I can get. Well, that's the. I have the game line 120 versus 105. Dodgers are minus 120.
I mean, Logan Webb has been especially good against the Dodgers today. I mean, this year, for what it's worth. I don't think they've scored more than 2 runs on him in any game. But I'll take the best offense. Austin Riley's back. I mean, I probably made him back. All right, man. Sorry about that. Austin Riley going yard. I can see it happening. I have no problem if you want to take a bat or 2 against Burns, by the way. If you want to do that to get more off the board, that certainly is viable. I just don't find I'm playing Burns. Like I said, I'm not playing enough lineups to where I'm not going to get too creative. But, I mean, getting an unowned Atlanta team that's really, really good and, a pretty good hitter's park is definitely interesting, especially considering we've got Tampa Bay, the ultimate pitcher's park in the American League. We've got the best pitcher's park in the National League in San Francisco. And then you've got Houston, which is a pretty good pitcher's park. Milwaukee is the best hitter's park on the slate. Burns, as good as he is, like, it's not like he's unhittable. I sort of like the idea of maybe mixing in one of these, the Braves. And I have no problem with Austin Riley being the one you want to choose. Austin Riley is awesome. So I would have no trouble with that. Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman would be my first pick, but I do like Austin Riley. So I like that call by Project Mayhem.
Wait, Project Mayhem's back?
He's back. Yeah, I unhit him.
And
then
it looks like by the way, I figured out an alternative to betting the over the over in the Dodgers. I just laid the 120.
There you go.
I took the Dodgers minus 120.
That certainly makes sense. That's a good way to go. Yeah. I like that idea about this. I kind of am getting into this idea, and maybe I'll throw in a lineup with that. With me, I do like Riley, but I slightly, if I'm going to play against Burns, I kind of would want to take Freddie Freeman at no ownership as just one of the best hitters in baseball. Like, and he's and you get the lefty, you get the platoon split, good lefty power park. Certainly a guy who could take Burns deep. Yeah, maybe that's the play. Maybe that's something I could do. I'm kind of into that idea, actually. And it's very easy for me to play him. So I think I'm going to. And by the way, in case it comes up, even if you're playing Sale and you want to, you find yourself wanting, I think you can take like one hitter against your pitchers today, and that's okay. I really do.
Even with that's a big slate for that.
Yeah, I think it's okay though. I really do. I mean, look at the run totals and the scores. You know what I mean? You get the 1 home run and the guy strikes out. Freddie Freeman goes yard and Corbin Burns strikes out 8. I can't believe his strikeout prop is really 8.5. He strikes out 8 guys, let's say. You're still going to want both of them then. You do have one of the best, pitchers, umpires in that game in Estabrook, that Atlanta-Milwaukee game.
Oh, it's your guy. You've been dead right on that guy before.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him. I like targeting that one. It's not Bill Miller, but it is there. Swanson is 4 for 5 off of Burns with 2 homers. You can take that absolutely, and he's not going to be played. So I think it's still a very small sample size, but I love that idea. You're going to get an unowned guy, and hey, there's no reason why not to take the BVP. Look for any little edge that you think goes your way. Maybe it was fluky, maybe not. It doesn't matter. It's you're playing a 1-game slate here, and you're not talking about a whole stack. You're talking about one player, and it's not like if everybody was going to chase that, I would say it would be so foolish to chase it. But if no one's going to do it, then it's not chasing it. You know what I mean? You're just taking a different play that has, obviously has seen the ball well in his 5 bad appearances against him. So I love that idea. Play a little Swanson then. That is something no one is going to be doing, I think. Especially batting.
Yeah, no one's playing Atlanta guys at all, and it's probably pretty dumb to not do that.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I'm kind of with you on that a little bit, actually. I would get to some of that for sure. I still think the other ones are the most viable, like stacks wise, but why not take a one-off from Atlanta, even if you're playing Burns? Like, he strikes out guys and he does give up some power. So, the old Garrett Cole short slate thing. Thoughts on Buehler? I have Buehler as the 4th pitcher, everything considered, on the slate for me. How about you, Sheets?
Yeah, like I said, I forced him in. So I don't, I have him ranked 4th. Well, this is what I have. I mean, you see what I have. Burns heads Burns the best, then Sale, then kind of a wall, between Morton, Buehler, Valdez, even Baz and Giolito. I have Webb weakest, for what that's worth. And so, I mean, if these ownerships that I have, I mean, again, it's playoffs, so it's a little fishy. But if Baz and say Valdez would be the 2 lowest owned, I mean, I would probably rather play them over say Morton, for example.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, this Taylor Moore is killing me.
I just don't think that you have I just don't think you're going to get like that big ceiling game out of the playoffs. I mean, dude, I'll tell you who was freaking. You want to talk about pitching to your strengths? Just freaking McCullers was just, first of all, he didn't walk anybody, which is amazing, and every single thing that he threw, they just hit right on the ground. It was like like if McCullers could just literally just draw up a perfect script for his game.
The White Sox will make you look good at times too.
They will.
They don't walk, so
nope.
It's if you don't walk and you don't take a lot of pitches in the postseason, it's usually not the best recipe. I still like them. Okay, I like this matchup today though.
By the way, I was right. Yeah, Neiman did the damage on the easy part of the course, so it's going to be a little harder. But he should get one more freaking birdie. You know what I mean?
How does Taylor Moore have 7 under through 15, and now he's 5 over through his last 9 holes?
Hey, nobody said Taylor Moore was any good.
I did. I was all in on this play. Not all in. I was just into it. I liked the idea of going back at it. And of course, the guys leading are the guys who I always say my favorite guys to play, but they're no longer. Well, they're not off the board anymore. With Burns and Wolf. All right.
Oh, yeah.
What else is there before we keep talking through this baseball? So, guys, pop in any more questions or thoughts, please, and all that stuff. And I know there's some haters and stuff coming in. You can listen to the RPS shows; they'll talk about this stuff and people tweeting that come after me. And it's really, honestly, like Sheet said a little while ago, I will continue to do this even if I'm not having a good time, because this is what I'm committed to, no matter what. But it does make it a lot less enjoyable when people are just coming after you like that, especially the way people personally attack, whether it's the way I look and then saying that I smoke. I don't do any hard anything. I will go out and drink with my friends, and I will have my White Claws occasionally when we're doing lineup builds on a stressful day. I am not. I don't appreciate the attacks, so it makes it a lot less fun. But it's no big deal that I know in the long run. Anyway. Had to get that out for my own personal sake, because it was kind of getting to me a little bit. These people who keep coming in there criticizing. Sheets is much better about letting that stuff roll off his back.
I've been better about blocking them nowadays.
Yeah, no, that's good. That way works as well. That works too.
Yeah, well, somewhere in the middle is probably optimal,
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You're probably right. She's trying irritated. The season is done.
Meanwhile, we discuss this a second. Can you believe it freaking happened again with the backup quarterback last night?
Yeah, it's crazy. I
It's
don't even like,
ridiculous. It's a stupid play.
especially for a guy who's like I don't know if he's ever been hurt in a game before.
No.
Russell Wilson. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how it. What's crazy is then it has to pay off, and the weird part is you're not even saving that much. Like so much has to go right on top of it. And how has it happened? Like the Chris Taylor thing isn't so crazy to me the night before.
The dude, the best, the guy who right, but the guy who won the 222 on DraftKings, he's like an expert. He's like one of my Twitter friends, whatever. The bro guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He got there right on that clinching field goal. Freaking champion.
Wait, what did he get?
Right on that last field goal, he took down 100K on the last field goal.
Oh, he had the kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. That's
All by
that's
himself.
awesome.
Yep.
Congrats to him. He's a good player. Really nice dude, from what I remember. I've only had some Twitter conversations with him.
Yeah, same. And he's good for the he's a friend of the industry. He puts analysis out there also. He's a good dude.
Yeah, really nice guy. Yeah. Well, we've got a fun action-packed weekend. It's a funny time because I'm trying to get some stuff done on the site on the side time, but I also had my cousins come down and visit, and we've been having a blast down here. We went to the game obviously Wednesday. We had the Dave Chappelle thing last night at the Bowl, which was awesome.
That was good.
Yeah, it was like they showed his documentary, but then he came out. He didn't really do so much stand-up, but he had like Snoop came out and did like 4 or 5 songs, and then Nas was out there. It was a lot of guys that we've listened. It was a good group. It was an incredible poet who he had come out and do a couple things that were just, I mean, unbelievable. It was just a really cool night and a beautiful night in LA at the Bowl. So it was really fun to take them there for that. And it's just tonight we've got the Dodger game to go sweat, so we're going to meet our other friends on the west side, and that should be fun.
You're not. Oh, that game's at home, right? Or not at home. Not at home, right?
Yeah, it's not at home.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, you got to get out. You got to get up there.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it, but if there's a game 5, I guess that's when I would go. But I think it's just too easy, too convenient when you live right down the street from the stadium in LA.
Right.
Although I have to say, in my whole life, I just now recently, since I moved back down here, I've finally passed, and I've been to more Dodger games, home games, than Giants games. My family goes my whole life when I was younger traveling, and then they built this beautiful stadium, and then I had a friend in San Francisco who I would go visit, and then I had my girlfriend was in San Francisco forever, so I would just go to the Giants games all the time. It's a beautiful park and everything. Anyway, but I finally just caught up this last season with more Dodger games than Giants games. Brooklyn Juice, no man, they don't always bring me up, but they just bring it up here and there. It's an old feud that started from what I felt. Anyway, we'll talk about it some other time. Just probably not worth getting into, but if you want to DM me about it, I'll talk to you about it some other time. Western Moda says Dodger stack. Yeah, I like the Dodger stack. I think that it's a little bit worrisome to me with the temperature so bad that you have the low run total that Logan Webb's been really good against them. I don't think it's a stack you should just automatically just plug in. And I think that what I'm looking more at right now at the moment is a 3-3-2 as opposed to something like that. I just don't feel so strongly that anybody's definitively better. I think the Dodgers stand the best chance to go off, along with Houston as the number 2, Tampa Bay as number 3, and then the White Sox, who is my favorite mini stack of all the teams, Abreu, Anderson, Jimenez, or Robert, either one. But I don't know. I personally would like to get to a little bit less of a full stack of the Dodgers on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I think you still want to play the 4-man stack personally. Sheets, are your stacks today like all 5-man, or do you have anything else mixed in there?
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff today. I mean, it's a small enough slate.
Yeah, makes sense. Let's see what else is there. I like the Austin Riley call. I think I actually can get behind that, and yeah, I kind of like that Austin Riley call. Simple as that, I guess.
Dude, I got all kinds of on FanDuel. I got all kinds of craziness. As you were telling you actually like this as a stacks slate on FanDuel. I actually have a bunch of nonsense over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me see what I have on DraftKings though, just for the hell of it. On DraftKings, I have yeah, I got a lot of nonsense over here too. We'll see what happens.
The nonsense continues.
Yeah.
Boy, Boy, I am starting to think that maybe there is something to this Atlanta thing against Burns, even if you're playing Burns. Take the one off or whatever and hope you get the right one. Again, I like Freeman. I think that Riley and Albies are awesome, take a shot guys. But if you're really going to get this kind of ownership, shouldn't we be taking those kind of shots? I just feel like we should be.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And Engels batting 9. It's weird that what they're doing over there. Vaughn probably comes out when Valdez does. Actually in a weird spot where I'm actually searching for a little bit of value here. You could use Eddie Rosario too, by the way, as a play against Burns.
Looking for value where on DraftKings?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like desperate for it. I just was looking around, seeing if I could do a little better in some spots than I was currently doing, and
okay,
I think I could.
How about Christian Yelich is 3,300?
Christian Yelich is 3,300. Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, he's
cheap. I mean,
he's deserved it with how he hit
this.
Cody rightfully so gets a lot of crap, but he fell completely off the face of the map too. Bregman should be popular, I would imagine. Yeah, if I play Austin Riley, maybe that's the play. Maybe that's if Austin Riley hits home run, I'm gonna give a little shout out to. I have to send something to what's his name, to Project Mayhem, because I think I'm gonna do that. I think I can get behind it, and I think I can do it even in my stacks. Yeah, I like that a little bit. See, I'd rather play Lamont Wade than I would, which I never thought I'd be saying. I'd rather play Lamont Wade. I'd rather play Alex Verdugo, if you want to be honest. Yeah, I've got a few little mix and matches that I think I'm going to end up going with in one of the bigger ones. I did add one more big one, so I'm playing 2 big ones now. But all right. Anything else from the people before we get out of here? I did accidentally. So let's see. We got Riley Albies for sure. Scotty Scheffler dominating second 18. That's good. Scotty Scheffler really needed to do some work today. So I guess he's doing it, which is nice because.
Yeah, so it is looking like -5 is very likely.
I think -6 is getting to be more in play too. It's up to 30%.
Oh, really? I see. Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing you're looking at. I guess 67% and 28% more.
Yeah. This Taylor Moore is going to kill me. Why did I go back to it? Actually, you know who's in my best lineup, those sheets? He's on the cut line again. Because I've got a Matt Wolf and Grillo. He's at 5 under with 3 to go.
Dude, you weren't supposed to be able to play him, so
I know. I said I'm going to play him in one lineup only.
Yeah, but the other 5 are going to smash.
No, it's exactly right. No matter what happens, the rest of them are going up. It's Matt Wolf, and then I've got the bad. I've got the Zalatoris. I've got Rory Sabatini at 0.6% ownership at 10.
Wow, you played him, huh?
Yeah, he was I remember we talked about the cheap guys. He was one of my 4.
Dude, and meanwhile, the optimizer play is finally smashing. This freaking Hoffman had a great day 1.
Oh, I know, he crushed.
Yeah,
and nobody played him. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Yep.
Someday somebody's going to have to explain to me the rationale that goes behind the golf ownerships. I know we take advantage. Look, it's been a good golf year for me, but I can't figure out why people do the things they do. Like, it's so bizarre to me. I cannot figure it out. I really can't. All right. Sheets, anything else before we get out of here?
-8. Like that. Oh, we're gonna need him. McNeely, I'm gonna need him. He's only -3 with 3 holes to go. That I kind of could use him.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one.
But he's got 16, which is a good hole. So we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully it stays at or stays at -5 instead of going to.
Well, obviously.
Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. If you don't mind hitting the like button on the thing, it does help us with our YouTube stuff and everything. So I appreciate that. Sheets, thanks for getting this started. Sorry I was a little late. I was, for some reason, I was under the impression that the first game was 11:30 or 2:30 Eastern. So I thought we'd start at 10:30, and I was planning for that, and I was at my girlfriend.
Wait, excuse me. There's one birdie for McNeely.
There you go. He's got a shot.
He needs 2 more holes. Two
Yeah.
more holes. He needs one at least. So we'll start with one.
Start with one. All right. Sounds good.
All right. Good luck, everybody. And we'll be in and out over the weekend, I'm sure. And I'll definitely see you 11:30, right, on the Sunday.
11:30 on Sunday. Let's do it. Ready for a
All
big
right,
NFL week. And I'm going to that game right after. So I'm going to be hopping
Oh.
right after we lock. I'm going to be jumping over to the Chargers game.
Yeah, I was wondering what game you were. I was like, wait, I thought he was going to the Rams game, but that was in Seattle. What's going? And then
We're going to go a bunch of Chargers buddies. So we're going to go check out the Chargers in Cleveland. It should be a good game.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, all.